is on. Awesome. So today I want to, first of all, just, hey, congratulations for making it through your first week. These are crazy times. I mean, I don't know how many times you've heard that this week. I'm sure it's something that all of your teachers have said in one way or another this past week. And I will probably continue to say it as we go forward. But good job sticking with it. And, you know, it's going to be one of those times where there's never been really a normal time. So you're getting used to it, and I appreciate all the emails. As you go forward, if you have questions, remember I am recording this session, and I'll be recording all of the sessions that we have. I have 2 Comp 1 sections, so sometimes you'll get one video, sometimes you'll get the other, but both, every single week, you'll get at least one recording of the weekly check-in. So if you miss anything, or if you have a question about something that I probably went over in class, make sure to watch the video, the recording again before you reach out and email me, just because it's a lot simpler. Let's take a quick look at where we are. Let's see here. All right. Okay, here's where we are. Here's the Blackboard site. Let's take a quick look. All right, here we go. Here we go. We'll just take a quick look. We'll just try to get that there. All right. This is our English Composition 1 class, and if you click there, so for everybody's, just so you know, the announcement section for this class is going to be really important. I do try to give you a email notification for all of the announcements, so you should be notified by email every single time. But you can always come to our Blackboard page and take a look at the announcements. I usually, at the end of the week, I'm going to try to give you a Friday reminder. And like I said, I'm going to try. There may be some weeks that I fail to do that, but I'm going to try to give you a reminder at the end of every week. Hey, these are the things, by the way, these are the things that you need to hand in. Now, if you take a look at the weekly reminder for last week, it was to buy your books if you have the money. I understand not everybody gets the money all up front. So the nice thing is Essay 1, this whole project we're about to begin, we have not started Essay 1 yet. Today, that's what we're going to begin. In Essay 1, you don't need your book. All the other essays, you will need your textbook. So definitely get it as soon as you can so you have it. I'm also going to be assigning some readings next week in the textbook. But for right now, just make sure to get that book. And then read all the documents in the summary folder. So we talked about what that was, and all you had to do is read the documents. You didn't have to do anything special. And then write a paragraph using the pre-formatted Word document, and then that paragraph was just to introduce who you are. So, hi, my name is, and this is a little bit about me. And then just hand that paragraph in the Essay 1 folder. Okay, so most everybody got that, and some people had some questions. No big deal if you had some questions. Thanks for emailing me on those. And just a quick word, and I did send out an email and had an announcement about whenever you do email me, always be sure, and I know it's kind of weird, whenever you send me an email, it seems like it should notify me who you are and what class you're in, but it doesn't always do that. And so it's always important when you email me to try to really give me as much information as you can give me to go on so that I can help you as best as possible. If it's just a sentence, or if it's just a question, or even if it's like, hey, I'm feeling confused, I can't, it's much harder for me to help you than if you really give me everything that I could possibly need to help you. So if you need to email me, please make sure you tell me who you are, so your first and last name. Make sure you let me know what class you're emailing me about. Some of you guys are in my English 101 class and my English 079 class. So make sure you let me know which class you're talking about. And then even if you're just in my Comp 1 class, let me know, okay, I'm in your English 101 class. And even if you could, let me know the time of day that you take the class. So this one that I'm recording right now is the 9 a.m. class. I have another one in the afternoon. So just let me know. That way I can help you as best as possible. So, okay, having said that, there's our housekeeping for the day. Let's take a look at what we're going to be doing this week. So let's see here. So we take a look at the syllabus. So anytime you want to know approximately what we're doing in any given week, you take a look at the syllabus. So you don't have to read the whole syllabus, but let's see here. Let me make sure real quick. Okay, very good. All right. So if you scroll down to where we are right now, we go down to the week 2. So week 1 in the books, guys. So we only have 16 weeks total. Week 1 done. Week 2, let's take a look at what we're doing this week. So we're going to read the Essay 1 assignment sheet, and I'll show you where that is. So what we're going to be doing in this class, we will always be working on an essay. So week 1, we're just kind of getting our bearings. We're learning how to format an essay. We're learning how to hand something in Blackboard, getting our books, introducing ourselves, learning how to hand something in, all those things. Now, from now on, we're always going to be working on an essay. So we're going to start Essay 1. So we're going to read the assignment sheet. We're going to learn how to brainstorm, cluster, and free write. And I've got a video for you on that. We're going to learn audience awareness. I've also got a video on that for you. And then we're going to read the assigned readings and the Essay 1 folder. So reading 1 and 2. All right, so let's take a look at how this is going to work. So when we go to the Comp 1 Blackboard page, I'll just start again. I'll just go right to where you land whenever you get to our page. Great, here we are in Comp 1. When we go here, we click over where it says homework and assignments. So we want to click there. And then the next thing we're going to see are all of our different folders. So this is where pretty much everything in the class is, just as a reminder. So we're going to start Essay 1. So everything we do until we hand in Essay 1 will be done in the Essay 1 project materials folder, just about, okay? The only other thing besides, well, yeah, that's pretty much it. So let's take a look at Essay 1 project materials folder. So we click there. Okay, so I've got a folder at the top that says lectures for Essay 1, okay? And on the syllabus, it says learn about, we're in the second week, okay. So learn how to brainstorm, cluster, and free write, and learn audience awareness. And we're gonna see the videos. So both of those videos are in the Essay 1 folder, okay. So what I want you to do this week, I want you to click on the lectures for Essay 1, and I want you to watch, okay, you're gonna read the assignment. So I'm just gonna go back to that folder real quick and show you where the assignment folder, okay, so the assignment sheet is in red, hard to miss. So the Essay 1 assignment sheet, let's click on that and we'll take a quick look at this first before we get into the videos. Okay, the narrative essay, okay. So a narrative is a story that you would tell for some kind of a purpose. So for instance, we're used to hearing a story that there is some kind of a meaning to it or a lesson learned. And that's what you're going to do for your first essay. You are going to teach a lesson to your reader using a story from your life. So if you take a look, let's just take a quick look at the assignment sheet. It's going to be 650 to 1,000 words. So we're looking at right around maybe a 2-page essay to maybe a 3-page essay. So somewhere around there. It's going to be in Times New Roman 12-point font, 2.0 spacing. Let me just tell you, I already gave you all of that. If you just use that file that I gave you last week for all of your essays that you write, it's totally fine. If you choose to cite from the readings, well, you're not going to cite anything on this essay, so don't even worry about that. You will not have to cite anything. So no work cited, you're not going to do anything like that. You're literally just telling me a story from your life. All right, so let's take a look at the prompt. While we learn a lot in school, we usually learn life's biggest lessons through experience. Each of us learns these life lessons in different ways, but one thing remains the same. Experience is a powerful teacher. Some lessons are profound and deep, and other lessons are simple but equally true. In this essay, you are to think of a story from your life where you learned a life lesson, and you will use it to teach your reader the lesson that you learned. So I don't want you to think that this is going to, it has to be some kind of a big poetic meaning. I tell you a story from my life in one of these videos, okay? And the story is basically when I was a child, I was jealous that I thought my sister had more soda in her cup, and so I put water in mine to make mine fuller, and I realized that I ruined my soda. And my lesson was that sometimes we should be just happy with what we have. And so I tell you the story in greater detail in the videos. So let's get to the videos. And I put these videos on our Blackboard page. This is again in the Essay 1 Project Materials folder. I put these videos in here to help you along, and you can watch them as many times as you like. And they are here basically to help you understand what we're trying to do. So the first video I'd like you to watch is the Essay 1 primer, okay? So definitely watch that. It's the lecture that I would give you if I were in person with you. It's the lecture that I would give you to get you ready to tell your story in this narrative essay that you're going to be writing. So watch that. If you're taking notes, watch the Essay 1 primer. And then we're going to start to use the writing process. So on our syllabus, it says, learn how to brainstorm, cluster, and free write, and learn audience awareness. Okay, we're going to learn how these things work. And while these things are not due until the end of next week, I want you to try to start working with them in your own time. Okay, you could just try to start working with them, try to figure out how they're being done. I'm giving you a lot of time, and I'm going really slow as we're getting started because I know some of these things are confusing, and because, hey, we're doing this virtually and I can't be there right there with you. So I want to give you plenty of time to work your way through. Don't feel like it's always going to be this slow, and just realize that we will eventually, I'll expect that you've understood these things eventually, especially after our first essay is done. So definitely work really hard to understand these things. The nice thing is I do have videos to help you through. And the video you're going to learn the writing process is this one right here. Okay, so the second video on the list, it's where I'm going to teach you the writing process. So watch that video as many times as you like. Okay, and the nice thing is when I make these videos, they're not incredibly long. It's not like sitting through an entire class. For instance, most of them are about 10 to 20 minutes. This one about the writing process is 13 minutes. Pretty much 13 minutes long. Okay, you watch that. You can watch it as many times as you like, but the goal is to try to apply that, because you're going to have to try to think of a story of your own, a narrative that you can tell that will teach some kind of a lesson. So you got that. The other thing on the syllabus that we need to do is learn audience awareness. Okay, well, guess what? I've got a video about, well, we have the invention. You'll also watch invention. So you're going to watch Essay 1, Invention 1. So you're going to watch that one. That's going to be an extension of the writing process. And then you're going to watch this one for audience awareness. So 4 videos. Now this week, I will be uploading more than just these 4 videos. You don't have to watch any other videos this week. So just these 4 videos. So Essay 1 primer, Essay 1 the writing process, Essay 1 Invention 1, and Essay 1 audience awareness. So during the week, at your leisure, whenever you feel like it, make sure to watch all of these videos and try to think about how you're going to apply this to the essay that you're going to write. And in these videos, I give you a lot of guidance, and I really try to guide you and give you some scaffolding so that you can make a better essay. So these essays or these videos you need to watch this week, and you can watch them as many times as you want. That's why I put them together in short excerpts like this, so you can watch them over and over again if you need to, however you'd like to do it. Okay, awesome. So let's take another look at the syllabus. So you're going to read the Essay 1 assignment sheet. Awesome. I want you to read that yourself, even though I read the first part for you. You're going to watch those videos. Those videos are basically, it's going to cover number 2 and number 3 for the week. And then number 4 for the week is read assigned readings. So essay 1, okay, the assigned readings. So you'll need to write this down, or you can always come back to this video anytime you like, and you'll be able to see what I'm talking about. So you're going to do those summaries. Last week I had you read the summaries instructions in the essay 1 or not the essay 1, in the summaries folder. So if you go to homework and assignments, there's a thing that says summary instructions example checklist. So all of you should have read that last week. So you're going to summarize 2 readings, and these 2 readings are in the essay 1 project materials folder, and they are the Subway Paradigm Shift by Stephen Covey and Learning to Play Chess. Now, Learning to Play Chess does not have a listed author, so you don't have to worry about talking about who this is. You just don't know the author. So when you write your summary, don't worry, you're not going to have the author. Another thing you don't have to do in these 2 first summaries, you don't have to cite the source, because I'm just giving you just basically 2 narratives. The first 2 summaries you're going to do, I just want you to focus on, can you convey what these little narratives are about in your own words, okay? And that's all I really want you to do. If you, so you're going to read, let's suppose you read The Subway Paradigm Shift by Stephen Covey. Okay, great. You've read the Stephen Covey thing. Okay, so what you're going to do is think about the instructions that you read and the examples that I gave you in the summary instructions, this part here. Okay, great. Now take a look at the summary instructions. Introductory sentence. State the title and the author's name and the source. Well, in this case, all I need you to do is the title and then the author's name on the first one, because we know it's by Stephen Covey. The second one, you don't have to worry about it. And then in the first sentence, you'll say the main idea. So in his story, The Subway Paradigm Shift, Stephen Covey tells a story about realizing when we are wrong. Or in his story, The Subway Paradigm Shift, Stephen Covey tells a story about when he was wrong about the behavior of children on a subway. I'm giving you spoilers here. I know you're going to need to read this, but essentially all you need to do in your first sentence is provide, okay, what essentially is happening in this narrative. And then you're going to give supporting details. And the cool thing is, with the summary, all you need to do is just kind of in your own words, tell what happened in this story, okay? And make it so that someone who reads your paragraph, because this only has to be 5 to 10 sentences long, make it so that if they read your summary, they wouldn't even have to read the actual story. You're putting it in your own words. Now, if you take a look at the examples, you'll see that on the examples, there is a citation at the end, right? And the page numbers and things like that. You don't need to do that just yet. We're going to be doing that on after this first essay project. We're going to use things where we're going to have to learn MLA format. But right now, we don't have to worry about that. So what I want you to do is just really focus on this part. When you're looking at the example, just focus on the meat, right? Focus on the actual summarizing of the material. So within 5 to 10 sentences, you're going to put into your own words. You're not going to quote. You're not going to copy any of the sentences or anything like that. In your own words, I want you to convey what happens in the story. All right. Having said that, this is your first one, so I understand sometimes people have questions. It's totally fine to have questions. And if you want to contact me, I'd be happy to give you some pointers. But really, the most important thing is on that first sentence. It's in this particular example, it says in the article, learning survival skills. You might say, in his narrative, and then in quotes, you would say the subway paradigm shift. Instead of Gene Coleman, you would say Stephen Covey, and then you would just basically say, tells the story of, and then in your own words, what encapsulates the whole story. Tells the story of a time when his paradigm was changed through an experience in his life. Great. And then every sentence after that tells just a little part about the story. First, this happened. Second, this happened. Then this happened. Eventually, he realized this, and this was the lesson that he learned. You know, all you need to do is 5 to 10 sentences. This will be due. Let's take a look at when it's due, because you have plenty of time to do this. This will be due at the end, let's see here, at the end of week 4. So you have, you know, this is the beginning of week 2. So you have 1, 2, 3 weeks to accomplish this. So that's not saying that you should wait till the last minute. But what that does mean is that you have plenty of time to work on it and plenty of time to kind of revise and make sure that you have a really good product here. So having said that, that is due on the Friday of week 4. And so I just want you to get started, okay? I want you to start reading them and get started on this part of your project. All right, so let's take a look. Okay, so we read Essay 1 assignment sheet. We know what videos we're gonna watch, and we understand that there's 2 readings that we're gonna summarize. I just want you to read them and get ready to summarize them. If I know some of you guys, some of you guys were really on it that first week. You guys, some of you handed in your paragraph like right after class, and you're just, give me more. And so if you are one of those people, take a look at those readings and then make sure that you're giving your best to really start this process. Also, as you're watching these videos on how to do brainstorming, you know, all 4 of those videos, I want you to start thinking about, okay, what is a story from my life where there's a lesson learned? And it doesn't have to be an incredibly profound lesson. It just needs to be a lesson, okay? Anything that you can convey to another person. All right. Now, having said that, we will have peer review. So later on, we're going to talk about what peer review is, but I want you to know approximately what to expect as far as this class goes. There will be a time when we have our rough drafts, and we are going to go to the discussion boards on the left. We'll click there, and we're going to upload our narrative essay to discussion board 1. And we're going to read each other's essays and provide some feedback for each other. And the reason I'm telling you that is because sometimes our narrative essay, well, we need to think about what story can I tell that other people will learn a lesson, but also maybe there's a story that's really too personal and I don't want to share that story. Okay, well, in that case, don't share that story in your narrative essay. Just try to think of another instance from your life where you learned a lesson, or there was a lesson that you can teach through this narrative, through this story. Okay, so that is approximately what we're doing this week. So this isn't that long of a class period, and just to kind of review again, let's take a look at our assignment list. Okay, we're going to read the Essay 1 assignment sheet. Again, everything is in the Essay 1 folder pretty much, okay? So you read the Essay 1 assignment sheet in the Essay 1 folder. You're going to watch those videos, okay? The first 4 videos, you're going to watch those, and that's going to help you get started thinking about this essay. Now let's take a look real quick, since we're talking about it, when this essay is due. This essay is not due until week 5 at midnight. So we're at the beginning of week 2. So we have lots of time, okay? Again, when I tell students we have lots of time, I don't want you to hear, hey, wait till the last minute. But what I want you to hear is, don't freak out, all right? Just follow the steps, work your process, and the writing process will take care of itself. You're gonna make it, it's gonna be fine. You have plenty of time to do it. We just need to get started, okay? And again, essay 1 is the one where I go the slowest. I kind of lead you by the hand a little bit more. And then as we continue to work on essays, I'll expect you to get the process down a little bit better. Okay, so we know we've got plenty of time. We've got a lot of different steps in the process. And let's see here. One thing also to understand is, yes, I want you to be working on the brainstorming, clustering, free writing. You're gonna see the lesson on how to do that in the videos. I want you to be working on your audience awareness. I want you to understand that those will be due, and you should have them done at least by the end of next week. Now, one of the things, just to kind of give you an idea, one of the things we're going to be doing with the writing process, and this will be the last thing I talk about, but it's important. One of the things we're going to be doing with the writing process is for every essay, you're going to do the full process. There's 4 different steps in the writing process for every single one of these essays. And what you're going to do is you're going to you can do this by hand, or you can do it on the computer, but you will have to hand this all in eventually electronically. So if you're doing these by hand, which some of you guys, I recommend doing it all by hand, all you need to do is be able to take a picture of your work so that I can give you credit. And you take that picture of your work, you put it into a Word document, and then you'll hand in that Word document and it'll all be good, okay? And that will always, what we're going to do is have all of the writing process homework. You'll hand that in the same day you hand in the final draft of your essay. So while next week, I will expect that you've completed your brainstorming, clustering, and free writing, and you've completed your audience awareness paragraph, you won't actually have to hand it in until essay 1 is due, and that'll be at the end of week 5. Okay, and that I will continue to remind you about, and I'll remind you on week 5 as well. But of course, you know, you guys are going to remember some of these things as well. Okay, guys, so that is our class for today. The vast majority of your work is going to be done watching those videos. And let's see here. Let me just check to see. Okay, I just had a quick question about the summaries. So the question was, are the summaries, is it 2 separate summaries? Are we doing 2 separate summaries? The answer is yes, we are doing 2 separate summaries. Thanks for asking that in private. And so if you take a look at the Essay 1 project materials folder again, you're going to see. Hey, could you go ahead and mute your microphone, please? Whoever's not muted. So if you go ahead and you take a look at the Essay 1 project materials folder, you scroll down and it says Summary of Reading 1, Summary of Reading 2. So that's where you're going to hand in your summaries whenever you hand them in eventually, okay? So you'll hand in one summary here and the other summary here, and it doesn't really matter which one goes where as long as you're handing them both in. Does anybody have any other questions? Go ahead and put it in the chat box, and I'd be happy to answer any other questions you might have. Okay, so the question is, are those written by hand? And I assume, Zoe, you're talking about the summaries. Is that right? Okay, so the summary should not be written by hand. If you take a look at the example, I just want you to follow the example. So you go to the summary instructions, example, checklist, you click there, and it should be typed up in a Word document. So it'll look something like this whenever you're done. So you'll have, oh boy, the trash man is here and my dog is going crazy. It's okay, but it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. All right. So we have the title at the top. You're going to title it. Then you'll have it in a paragraph format, just like this. So it'll look similar to this. You won't do this one by hand. Does that make sense? So you with me, Zoe? Okay, great. Thank you. Okay, so when should we have the brainstorming, clustering? Okay. Okay, so the due dates. Okay. So the way it works is there's a difference between when you should have it done and when you'll hand it in. And the idea is with the writing process, we're doing little steps at a time. And I'm not going to make you hand in every little thing as we go. I'll have you hand it in whenever we're done with all of the steps. So when it comes to your brainstorming, clustering, and free writing, you should have it completed by the end of next week. So you've got plenty of time. The biggest thing I want you to do this week is understand what these things are. So you'll go to homework and assignments. You'll go to the Essay 1 project materials folder. You'll go to the lectures for Essay 1. And then you're going to watch those 4 lectures. When you watch the lectures, you're going to get an understanding of what these things are. And this week, I just want you to really try to think about, okay, maybe definitely work on these things, but they're not due until the end of week 2 or week 3. So next week, they're not really, you shouldn't even have them, you don't have to have them done. Now, when you hand them in is a different story. So when we hand in all of our writing process is when we hand in the Essay 1. So the writing process is a bunch of little things we do, okay? Brainstorming, clustering, and free writing, audience awareness. We'll eventually outline. We're eventually going to do revisions, and we're going to do that peer review. So we'll do all those things, and you'll just keep them until essay whatever is due, so Essay 1. So if you take a look at the Essay 1 project materials folder, you can scroll down underneath the reading of 1 and 2. This is where you're going to hand in the essay eventually. See where it says hand in electronic copy of Essay 1 here. And then at the end of this essay, we're going to hand in Essay 1 process points. So all of the brainstorming, clustering, free writing, the audience awareness, the outline, all of that will be handed in to this. And I don't make you hand that in to me until the essay is finally due. Does that make sense? Awesome, awesome. And again, you can rewatch this video if you're confused about this in the future. And again, I'm going to explain it every week a little bit more and more. I'm going to remind you about these things. But that's essentially how this class will go. We're always going to be working toward an essay. And we're always going to have little steps that we're taking along the way. And I'm not going to make you hand those little steps in until the essay is finally due. So that's whenever you're going to hand in your Essay 1 and your Essay 1, what I call the process points, all the different parts on the writing process. That's when we'll hand that in. Any other questions about anything else on what we're doing this week? Week 2. The essay is due at the end of week 5. That'll be Friday at midnight. Everything's always due Friday at midnight, but I always recommend you try to get it done before then. Okay, so let's just review, and if you have another question, you can pop that into the chat box. I'll answer it, but let's just review before we close for the day. And again, you can rewatch this video. You know what you need to do for your other videos. And I'm going to go ahead and post a little reminder for you as well. But for this week, you're going to read Essay 1's assignment sheet. Okay, I want you to watch those 4 videos. That's where you're going to learn about brainstorming, clustering, free writing. You're going to learn about audience awareness. You're even going to learn about the writing process, just what it is in general. So if any of this sounds a little confusing, my videos that you're going to watch, those 4 videos, that's going to help you a lot. And then you're going to read the assigned readings. So again, those assigned readings are in the Essay 1 folder, and it's the Subway Paradigm Shift by Stephen Covey and the short story Learning to Play, It's a Chess Narrative. Okay. All right, guys. Any other questions on anything else we're doing this week? Well, hey guys, I hope that you're having a good first couple weeks of classes. I know that, hey, college is always challenging, and let's see here, I'm trying to get to the right view. College is always challenging, so if you have questions, it's okay to email me. You guys have been doing a great job keeping in touch. I want you to email me if you have questions. I don't want you to stay in the dark. I can't read your mind. So, so if you have questions, of course, email me with your name, what class you're in. Make sure that you're giving me enough information so I understand. Just assume, and it's true, I have 125 students and I teach a lot of different classes. So it may be that I need you to give me a little bit of information as far as what you're concerned about, what it is you're having a question on, what you're working on, and that way I can give you better help. So if you have questions, feel free to email me. If nothing else, guys, thanks so much for being here. Welcome to week 2, and good luck with everything. All right, I'll see you guys next week.